What the 2020 census meant for North Carolina at a top line was that our total resident population was about 10.4 million. That was an increase of 904,000 or 9.5% since 2010. We gained a 14th seat in the House of Representatives. It was also means that this is about our fair share of the more than 1.5 trillion federal dollars that are guided by census-derived estimates and programs. In fiscal year 2017, that was the equivalent of $44 billion to North Carolina. And we also know that there's new topics coming from the 2020 census: same-sex relationships and ancestry and origins data for all respondents. Another big thing that we saw was the rapid diversification of our state. If we go back to 1990, about 75% of the state's population identified as white, non-Hispanic, 22% as Black, with a small portion in other groups, including Hispanic, Asian, and all other races. In 2000, we see a significant increase in the Hispanic population and some growth in all other races because of the introduction of the multiracial option on the census. In 2010, we start to see that category expand, as well as continued growth in the Hispanic population. And in 2020, we see significant increases in diversity, in part due to real changes in who's living in the state, but also due to some of the changes in the way the Census Bureau measured and quantified race and ethnicity. So as of today, we're 60% white, 20% Black, 11% Latinx, 3% Asian, and 6% in all other race groups, including American, Indian, other race, and multiracial.
So this work we do now is a continuation of the hard work in census. It leads into voting, and a proper redistricting process ensures that people who share interests and values, be it a common sense of concern for environmental justice or focus on health equity that extends to equitable COVID relief process, or common backgrounds, that those interests are gathered and come together so that fair maps can be drawn that incorporate those communities that exist, and those communities can pick their political representatives. Wrong. Racial gerrymandering is illegal for a reason. It hurts the voters, the people, the institutions of the state. And some infamous, famous examples of gerrymandering is the famous 12th district, which at a time stretched all the way from Mecklenburg County to near Durham. It was a district that was 64% African-American majority in population. And it was so narrow at some points that it was no wider than a highway lane. And it almost followed Interstate 85 almost exactly. Another example of gerrymandering that we've seen in North Carolina is when the largest HBCU in the state, North Carolina A&T University, had its campus cracked and split in half so that the college vote would be diluted and not be as powerful. So in order to get to where we want to be, in order to get the people involved, we advocate for people to provide comments during upcoming public hearings, and we are working to educate the communities about the issues that intersect with redistricting.